I am wearing this here crew neck, quarter zip crew neck, in memoriam of my bracket, my favorite team season, and my dignity. To think that in front of 7,500 people, I claim to have possibly made a perfect bracket, and to a point where I had nearly embarrassed myself and watched my favorite team go down in the first round while predicting them to win has severely humbled me. To watch Kentucky go from a regular season monster to a first round exit, I now know what it feels like to be a Green Bay Packer fan. Welcome back to Drake's Corner, everybody. Today we're doing another little special video. March Madness is great for tradition and, a lot of team, just competitive nature, all aspects of great sports involved into one. It's the greatest tournament on the planet. But while March Madness is a great team aspect-oriented basketball, we're going to take a look at 5 college basketball players who can kind of amp up their draft stock through the tournament. We're heading to the close end of the second round here of the tournament, and there's a few players who can still make their way into a better draft spot or have already done that. So we're going to take a look at 5 players who have or who can still amp up their draft stock. Let's start at number 5. Number 5, I got Johnny Giuseng, currently playing for UCLA. He is a projected second-round pick, and you may have already heard of Johnny Giuseng from last year's UCLA Cinderella run as an 11 seed. Not seeing him in the NBA draft pool last year kind of made me sick. To lead an 11 seed to the Final Four as the best scorer on the team, being a very solid shooter and can score all around on 44% shooting, it's kind of odd to not see that player go to the NBA, but he came back this year as a better seeded team. He's putting up the same numbers. Right now he's sitting at a middle second round pick. Johnny Giuseng shows prolific scoring ability. He's a great shooter. He's 6'7", shows a lot of size at the position he plays, shooting guard. He can also run point guard as well. He can score all around, 44% shooter. My NBA comparison for him is Dante DiVincenzo. It only takes one game for prospects to see you, and that game for Dante DiVincenzo was Michigan in the national championship of 2018. So Johnny Giuseng, prolific numbers. He has a chance here in the upcoming rounds to amp up his draft stock. Number 4, I got Teddy Allen from New Mexico State. Last night, he put up 37 points against UConn. Now, if you haven't heard of Teddy Allen, you have now. He was the WAC Player of the Year, so the Player of the Year in his conference, a natural scoring guard, 20 points per game on 44% shooting. Teddy Allen is one of those guys who can just score at will. You give him the ball in ISO situations, he can take it and run with it. He's not as good as a three-point shooter as the man above him, Johnny Giuseng, but he can get to the rack and score. He's 6'6", 210, so he has the size for NBA play. A few players have made tournament runs and made a name for themselves, like Carson Edwards. That is my NBA comparison for Teddy Allen. If you remember, Purdue made a run led by Carson Edwards, who is just a scoring machine, and that's exactly what Teddy Allen is. He can pretty much score anywhere on the court. He can shoot. He can make good playmaking to the basket, etc., etc. Teddy Allen, New Mexico State, currently undrafted in most mock drafts. He is my number 4. Number 3, I got Jaylen Durham, center out of Memphis. Besides Chet Holmgren, there really isn't any other lottery centers besides possibly Durham. Durham's on a Memphis squad that is known for their offense. With Durham's athleticism, he can prove he can be a starting center for a lot of NBA teams. If you remember 2 years back, Memphis produced James Wiseman, who actually left the program, but they have good. Obviously, they can produce good centers. My NBA comparison for Jaylen Durham is James Wiseman. With Durham's athleticism, he has a chance to prove himself into possibly the top 10 for picks. Right now in the most mock drafts I'm seeing, he's sitting in middle of the first round. I like Durham here. I think he can really prove himself upcoming in a game against Gonzaga. Number 2, I got Jamari Boyd. Possibly have never heard of him until last night. He's on San Francisco, the 10 seed in the tournament. He's projected undrafted right now, but he put up 17 points per game on the season and 4 assists per game on 47% shooting. His 2-point percentage is absolutely amazing. He's almost breathtaking going to his right. He has an incredible first step. Doesn't show the same burst going left, but his athleticism metrics are great. Rebound rate, steal rate, block rate, and he looks like a positive playmaker. Players his size historically have had limited impact in the NBA, but on a lucky situation, he could sneak into early second round, late first round with his scoring ability. We saw it against Murray State. He put up 36 points. My NBA comparison for him is Monty Morris. You didn't really hear of him until tournament time. Monty Morris, one undrafted, is now a prolific guard for the Denver Nuggets, coming off the bench. Number 1, you probably have heard of him if you're really into college ball, Drew Timmy, the Gonzaga big who is undrafted in most mock drafts. He's putting up 18 and 7 on 59% shooting. He has very good footwork. He's very fundamentally sound. He's patient, and he has a good touch for a big man. One of the nation's finest when it comes to post play and big man play. He has polished footwork. Probably the reason why he isn't in a lot of mock drafts is because of his athleticism. A lot of NBA scouts base it off ceiling rather than play, but Drew Timmy putting up 32 and 13 in the first game of the tournament proves a lot. If you're looking for a fundamentally sound guy, Drew Timmy's your guy, and I think he can continue to prove that he can play at an elite level here with Gonzaga's tournament run. My NBA comparison for him is a poor man's Kevin Love. Besides the outside shooting, Drew Timmy shows a lot of the same post work that Kevin Love shows. He's very good defensively, good rebounder, etc., etc. Drew Timmy has a big chance to earn his way into an NBA draft spot. So, that is my top 5 players in the NCAA tournament who can possibly make a run to amp up their stock in the draft. The draft here is in June, so we have a long way. I feel like these 5 players can amp up their stock. Thank you guys for watching another Drake's Corner special, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.